Amongst the line we see in 1 Samuel 15:22 is the line, to obey is better than to sacrifice. And you know the story. It was Saul's attempt to sacrifice to God while he was in disobedience. You see, it's not that God doesn't value sacrifice. It's just that any sacrifice that is outside the boundaries of obedience doesn't count with God. God prioritizes obedience over sacrifice. Why is this important to us as dear church leader? Like I shared in the previous letter, we must allow God use us as He deems fit. Sometimes we're the subject of the blessing. We're the ones God is driving towards. He's going to move any mountain. He's going to light up any way just to get to you in that time when you're the subject of the blessing. But many times as church leaders, we are the tool of the blessing, the channel through which God will go through to get to someone else. And like I said, when a mechanic is working, he's caring less how the tool he's using feels. His focus is on getting that part of the car, automobile, to function well. That said, our lives must be lived out as yielded vessels for the Lord's use. The only way this is possible is when we trust Him and obey. Like that hymn said, trust and obey. You see, the reason why many times we see ourselves in a position where it's hard to obey the instructions that God gives us, especially those very uncomfortable ones, is because we really do not trust Him. If you trust God, you would obey God. When He tells you leave that relationship and you trust Him, you would obey Him. When He says give that thing out, if you trust Him, you would obey. It's very simple. If you are not obeying, it simply means you are not so sure that this man has calculated it well. There is still a challenge with trusting Him. You're asking yourself, will this pay me? Well, it doesn't have to pay you. As a church leader, you are a tool in the hand of God. And so allow God walk in and through your life for His glory, for His pleasure. So why did I start Dear Church Leader? November 2024, I had an experience. I was praying that night. It was about between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. I was praying, and the Lord began to open me to a divine inspiration. I was sharing. That night alone, I got 23 letters I could share. That's different points. And so over the last few months, what I've shared on, a lot of them were a product of that experience with the Lord that night in November 2024. It just kept coming. I was just writing it down. I wrote about 23 of them once. And I knew this was something He wanted me to do. But I had a lot of challenges. I didn't want to be misunderstood. I didn't want to do something where somebody would think I'm trying to show off. I'm not an expert in church leadership. I'm not an expert. Yes, I've had a lot of years in church leadership positions, but I'm not an expert. I still have a whole lot to learn, but I've learned some things, and that's why I'm sharing by God's privilege. Am I an expert? No. But there's a lot I've learned. A lot the Lord has enabled me by His wisdom and grace to learn. And as He shared those things with me that night, I knew I had to let them go. I knew I needed to share with the body of Christ globally. I just, in fact, to backtrack a bit, 2024 was when I clocked 30. And that year, beginning of that year, God began to tell me I needed to give back. It was time to start giving back. And the wisdom He was giving me was go online. That's one way to reach out to many people. It was not time to hold physical meetings. So how do I give back? Yes, I get to disciple people one-on-one. But if I was going to reach a larger audience, I had to go online. And so I had to open my YouTube account, the channel. I had to open my TikTok account, my IG account, so on and on like that. These were very uncomfortable things. I'm not the one to really be on social media. But I know it's the wisdom of God, because I could reach a much larger audience through this. But I struggled. I gave excuse of I didn't have a good device, I didn't have this one, on and on. It was just different excuses I kept giving the Lord. But now, something my man of God, the Liberal Victor Damlare, taught us is that when God gives you an instruction, opens a portal to you, it has an expiry date. If you lose out of that time, you may wait many years again if that cycle, if that portal may ever open again. And so God's Spirit began to put pressure on my spirit that I needed to hit something. I needed to release some videos before my 30th birthday. Now, I don't speak too much about the importance of your 30th. That year is a very significant year in any man's life, any believer's life. And I knew that if I did, I just knew in my spirit, it was that inward witness, that if I did not release some videos before then, I would miss many years of my life. I may be existing, but I'll have missed a cycle. I'll have missed a portal. And so somehow, out of obedience, I recorded some very shabby videos. The content was not shabby, but the production was shabby. There was no mic like I'm using now. It was dark. I just did it somehow, but I knew it wasn't about the quality of the video per se. It was about obedience. It needed to be done. I needed to remove my ego, my reputation, remove it from the picture, from the equation, and do it because the Lord was leading me to do it. In fact, there was an experience. A prophetic word came in one of our trainings in the church, and then the prophet of God was speaking and said, God said, everyone in this meeting is giving them certain instructions, certain assignments to go and do for him. I knew the Lord this was the main thing the Lord was already warning me. He said, go and get this done. Release, give back, go, share these things I'm teaching you. And when that prophecy came, the only thing I knew the Lord had been on my matter on was this. And so, about 10 days to my birthday, I was able to push, yielding to the Lord. I got those videos done. I just released them out. It wasn't about the statistics. It wasn't about the views, the likes, the comments. It was about, first and foremost, obedience to God. Fast forward to the end of the year, 2024. That November, when I had that experience and the Lord began to lead me on this journey of doing Dear Church Leader, I said, okay, if I'm going to do this, at least I need a mic, I need some things. And, we just give excuses for why we're not doing the will of God. As God would have it, someone gifted me this mic. I got access to a better phone to record. Just a lot of things fell into place then. It now became questions of the heart. Like I said, I didn't want to be misunderstood. I had a lot of contentions in my heart. And God began to, each time I'm praying, the Lord is reminding me, there is something you have not done. You have not done this. It's not about you. In fact, I think that was the day it broke me. I can't remember what day exactly, but I know it was early 2025. I was praying that day in the office alongside my brothers in the office, other pastors, and then the Lord was just speaking to me on this. He said, it's not about you. You keep putting yourself in the equation. It's not about you. It doesn't have to be about you for you to get it done. And thankfully, I had removed my reputation from this. Would I like subscribers on my channel to increase? Definitely. Would I like more comments, views? Definitely. But it was never about those things. It was clear. It's never about the views. The views are important, but that's never the priority. The priority for doing this is obedience to God. And like I shared, I think it was 2 letters ago, Jesus Christ, his reward for dying on the cross, for the redemption plan being fulfilled, was in the fact that it was fulfilled. All he went through, the beating, the suffering, the persecution, the harassment, his reward was the fact that he fulfilled heaven's mandate. Like Paul said, I finished my course. I fought the good fight. That sense of knowing you did it according to what God said you should do. Nothing beats that feeling. Nothing beats that satisfaction. Nothing beats that sense of fulfillment. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And so if you fast the next 1,000 days, but there are certain things God has put in your heart and He's telling you the timing is now. Now it's true. God can actually tell you to do something. He can give you the what to do, but not give you the timing to do it. Now that's different. So you know, okay, you're waiting for the timing. But you know that the Lord is telling you, get it done now. But you're trying to get all the ingredients in place first. That's not faith. That's not how God works. Many times that the Lord will lead you, it's a call to faith. Now, this doesn't negate planning, but we're saying don't get to a place where you want to over-plan it. You want all the details done first before you take this step. That's not the way God works. Obedience is better than sacrifice. So as you continue, whatever you're doing for God in His house, in His vineyard, a work of ministry, dear church leader, God always prioritizes obedience over sacrifice. Over sacrifice. So get obeying. And it's not going to be easy, but obey the Lord. In it lies the blessing. In it lies the rewards. In it lies the fulfillment. Get obeying. Do it. Take those faith steps. It's leading you in a direction. Take the step. 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 Go in obedience. Peter said, we have done this all night. It doesn't make sense you are telling us to throw in our nets, but nevertheless, at thy word, would obey. And boy, they saw a good catch. Take the step of faith. Obey the instructions the Lord is putting in your heart. Obey the instructions that have come in that place you're serving in as a leader. To obey is better than any form of sacrifice outside the boundaries of obedience. And as you apply this, you're going to see a lot of blessings. You're going to see a lot of transformation. That sense of fulfillment is going to blossom in your heart because you're knowing you're living according to the volume of the books. You're allowing God direct your life. You're allowing God use your life as He deems fit. This is ministry. This is church leadership. This is the way God wants us to do it. I see in the next letter, please keep on consciously reminding yourself, I must obey. And so those promptings, those things He's put in your heart, it's time to start doing them now. God bless you. I see you in the next letter. Bye.